Monkey Man might be the best film of the year.
Bing bong.
Welcome back. I'm really excited to talk about Monkey Man. This movie has been on my radar for a little bit, even though I did not see any of the trailers. Not because I wasn't looking forward to the movie, but trailers tend to spoil a lot these days. I don't really want to get spoiled, and boy, am I glad I didn't get spoiled for this movie. I'm not all that familiar with the other films that Dev Patel has made. I don't know if I've seen any of them, to be completely honest. This is a hell of a place for me to start. I mean, initially, just an incredible job by him all around. For those of you that don't know, Dev Patel wrote, acted in, directed, and produced this film. He made it a few years ago, and a buddy of mine told me that despite the fact that this movie was actually ready to come out a few years ago and was sold to Netflix, Netflix sat on it for a couple of years, and Jordan Peele saw a cut of the movie, loved it, and purchased it from Netflix so that it could get the theatrical release that it so absolutely deserves. I cannot even imagine watching this film on my television for it being the first time I had ever seen it. I totally will, because I want to watch the movie again. I think it is absolutely sensational. I'm just completely blown away by how incredible this movie is. The acting, the cinematography, absolutely gorgeous. The acting is top tier. The fight scenes and the fight choreography and just the action scenes in general are phenomenal. The way this movie is shot, just very shaky and unsettling. It's one of the most tense movies that I can remember, like genuinely like tensing my body as some of these scenes are happening. Not really sure what's going to happen next. But what I really wanted to talk about is something that gets ignored in a lot of films just in general. Not ignored in terms of the production value, just ignored when people are talking about them. And that's the editing. This is one of the sharpest, most incredibly well edited films that I think I've ever seen. And I think, sure, some of that is probably some recency bias, but legitimately, I was trying to think back to other films that really blew me away with how they were edited and how much of an impact that had on my enjoyment of the movie. And this is up there. Editing is either you notice it if it's really bad, or you notice it if it is sensationally well done. And this is thankfully the latter. This is such a well executed film from start to finish. The pacing is fantastic. Not to get too much into, spoilers for this movie, but it is a revenge story. Respectfully, the term had been thrown around online of this is the Indian John Wick. I think that it's fair and it's unfair because if you saw the first John Wick movie, this is definitely closer to the raw brutality of that first John Wick movie before he turns into a superhero that wears a bulletproof suit in the latter ones, which are all good. I like those John Wick movies as well, but they do get a little bit goofy when you look back on the first one when he was an actual person that spoke. It feels very different. It feels like there was a split. Monkey Man really does line up a lot closer with that original John Wick film, but it also pulls just from a lot of different movies. There were definitely some Batman, Bruce Wayne vibes here. There was just a lot that it felt like it was honoring or borrowing from. And, I am a dumb American, so I don't know that much about Indian culture. And so I think the film represented a lot of that. I probably didn't get as much of it as I would if I was a little more educated. But it was really, really beautifully well done. And I think, as this film went on, really, I was just didn't want it to end. I was having so much fun. I thought it was insanely captivating. The more I watched, the longer I wanted the film to go. And if I'm being honest, after about, 5 minutes into this film, I was like, this is special. This is a special movie. This is going to be one of those movies that I watch multiple times. This is going to be one of those movies that I'm eagerly awaiting the physical release on DVD because I'm a physical media person. I went in with no expectations, which doesn't always happen. It's sometimes hard these days because so much gets spoiled online when you try to go see a movie, to not go in with any expectations. But, outside of the initial reactions and reviews, which all seemed fairly positive, which is just nice to see, this lived up to whatever I could have expected it to be. and more. I think if you haven't seen any movies this year, definitely go see a few because there's a lot of good ones. But this, I think Monkey Man is easily going to be one of the best movies of the year, personally. And again, full recency bias here. If another movie comes out this year that is better than Monkey Man, I will be absolutely stunned. Or at least a film that I think is better than Monkey Man. Not that my opinion actually matters, but this movie just hit me really hard as just an incredible example of hard work and dedication, and just, I don't know how rewarding filmmaking can be. I think when a movie like this comes together and thankfully gets released in a theater, it all, the beautiful act of passion and hard work was truly realized. And Dev Patel, man, you are absolutely incredible. Jordan Peele, please go save other movies that deserve theatrical releases if you can find some. I'm sure Netflix has an entire backlog. Guys, this is one that you don't want to miss. Monkey Man, I think, is going to be one of the best movies of the year. And it's one of my favorite movies probably that I've ever seen. Thanks for watching.